What if the most powerful secret to unlocking your true potential isn't hidden in ancient texts or self-help gurus, but lies within two simple words you already know? Prepare to discover the profound truth behind I am and how this understanding can radically transform your life, revealing the divine wisdom you've always possessed. All right, family, gather round for a minute. Let's get quiet and get real. You ever feel like you're just glitching? Like you're running on some outdated software, buffering constantly, dealing with all this pop-up anxiety and low battery energy? The world is screaming at you 24/7, telling you who you are, what you need, and why you ain't enough. It's a whole lot of noise. But what if I told you that underneath all that static, the stress, the doubts, the whole identity crisis thing, there's a rock-solid, eternal we-fi signal of pure perfection, a signal that's always been there, just waiting for you to log on. The world has you looking for answers out there, in a new job, a new relationship, a new vibe. But the real plug, the ultimate source code, ain't out there. It's that I am before you finish the sentence. Before I am broke, or I am sick, or I am stressed. Just the raw, unfiltered I am. We're about to go on a journey to crack that code. We're going to peel back the layers of the ego, all the cap, all the frontin, and reveal the divine operating system that's been running the whole time. So, if you're ready to stop just existing and start truly living from that power, if you're ready to find out what happens when you stop trying to build a life and start letting the life that is God live as you, then you need to see this through. Stick around because we're about to unlock your divine self, and trust me, you're going to want to see how this ends. So there it is. The I am isn't some far-off, dusty concept. It's your main character energy. It's the cheat code that was inside the game the whole time. Now the work begins, not to build it, but to acknowledge it, to lean into it, to let it run the show. But here's my question for you. What happens to your world when you stop being the main problem and start realizing you were the main character all along? If this hit different, if it resonated deep in your spirit, do me a solid like the video. Drop a 100 in the comments if this truth unlocked something for you. That number symbolizes a new divine beginning. And subscribe to keep walking this path with us. Stay blessed, family. Now go live from that I am. Peace, the real plug, the ultimate source code ain't out there. It's A in here. It's that I am before you finish the sentence. Before I am broke, or I am sick, or I am stressed. Just the raw, unfiltered deep I am. So let's break down this first idea, the glitch vs the signal. Because most of us, let's be real, we spend 99% of our day completely tuned into the glitch. We think the glitch is the whole show. What is the glitch? Man, the glitch is all the static. It's that funky, low-frequency noise of your personal drama. It's waking up and the first thing you feel is that knot of anxiety in your stomach about that bill you gotta pay. That's a glitch. It's scrolling through social media and immediately feeling that hit of not enough. My life isn't as cool, my body isn't as fit, my vacation wasn't as epic. That's a major glitch in your internal system. It's the argument you replayed in your head all day, the worry about what your boss thinks, the fear that you're falling behind in life. This is all just interference. It's a corrupted data file trying to convince you it's the ultimate reality. We get so used to this background noise that we start to think it's who we are. We identify with the buffering. We say, an anxious person, I am unlucky. I am a hot mess. You're not, you're just a perfect high-definition receiver that's currently tuned to a station that's all scratchy and full of static. The problem isn't the receiver. It's the channel you're listening to. The ego, that little voice in your head that's always narrating, always comparing, always worrying. That's the glitch master. It's the source of the corrupt data. And it's a convincing imposter because it's been running the show for so long, you think its voice is your own. But underneath all that, there is a crystal clear, unwavering signal. This is the signal. This is the I am. It's not broadcasting fear or lack or comparison. Its frequency is pure peace. Its bandwidth is infinite love. Its message is unshakable harmony. This signal isn't something you have to go out and find because you can't lose it. It's the very power that allows you to even hear the glitch in the first place. It's the consciousness that is aware of the anxiety, aware of the fear, aware of the thought. You are the awareness of the static, not the static itself. Your entire spiritual journey, in a nutshell, is the simple but profound work of shifting your attention from the glitch to the signal. It's not a fight. You don't have to wrestle the glitch to the ground. That just gives it more energy. It's like when you're in a car and a terrible song comes on the radio. You don't start yelling at the radio, trying to argue with the song. You don't get out and try to fix the transmitter tower. You just reach over and change the station. That's what this is. It's a gentle, deliberate retuning of your own attention. It's waking up in the morning, and instead of latching onto that first anxious thought, you take a breath and you feel for the silence underneath it. You feel for the I am that is present before the story even begins. You acknowledge the signal. You listen for it. You give it your attention. And the more you do that, the clearer that station comes in, and the more the static of the glitch just fades into the background, losing its power, losing its grip, until you realize it was never in control to begin with. Until you realize it was never in control to begin with. So if the glitch is all that noise, then what is this signal? I'm not talking about some vague, spiritual-sounding idea. I'm talking about the source of all power, the ultimate authority in your universe. In the slang of our day, the I am is the plug. Now, for anyone who might not be down with the terminology, the plug is the one who has the direct connect. The plug is the source. You don't go to the middleman. You go to the plug. You don't mess with the bootleg version. You go straight to the source of the good stuff. And that's what this is? Your I am consciousness. Your true identity isn't just VAR power. It is the power. It is the direct, unfiltered connection to the infinite. It is the source of every ounce of peace, every spark of joy, every single download of intelligence and creativity you have ever experienced. Think about it. When have you ever felt a moment of pure, unshakable peace? That came from the plug. When have you ever had a brilliant idea seemingly drop into your lap out of nowhere? That was a direct delivery from the plug. When have you ever felt a surge of unconditional love for someone, a compassion that felt bigger than your little personal self? That was you tapping into the main line. We spend our whole lives looking for outlets to plug into so we can get a charge. We try to plug into our careers for our sense of worth. We try to plug into our relationships for our sense of security and validation. We try to plug into our bank accounts for our sense of power. And every single time, those external outlets eventually short-circuit. They brown out. They leave us feeling drained because they were never designed to be the source. They were meant to be expressions of the source, not the source itself. You are walking around looking for a USB port in a wall when you are the entire power grid. What I am is that power grid. It is the generative source of all that you are and all that you will ever need. This is the radical, revolutionary truth. You are not a beggar hoping for a scrap of peace from the world. You are the fountainhead of peace itself. You are not a victim of circumstances hoping for a break. You are the center from which all circumstances unfold. When you know you are the plug, your entire relationship with life flips. You stop praying for things, for health, for supply, for solutions, and you start praying ebbs from the realized consciousness of wholeness, of infinite abundance, of perfect harmony. You aren't asking, you are acknowledging what is already fully and completely present within you, waiting to be recognized and expressed. You stop trying to get God to give you something and you start realizing that the I am within you is the something. It is the very substance. This is why the mystics say it's done unto you as you believe. your belief, your awareness? Is you either plugging into the one true source or you frantically trying to suck power from a dead battery? So the only practice that really matters, is to constantly, consciously return to this knowing. In the face of fear, you declare within, I am the plug and my source is peace. In the face of lack, you declare, I am the plug and my source is infinite supply. You aren't begging, you are tuning, you are aligning. You are claiming your divine inheritance as the one and only source of your own experience. You are claiming your divine inheritance as the one and only source of your own experience. Now, to get to that point, there's a major obstacle we got to deal with. And that obstacle is the ego, or as we're calling it here, the ultimate cap. For the uninitiated, when something is cap, it's a lie, it's false, it's a front. And let me tell you, your ego is the grandest, most convincing, most dedicated cap artist you will ever encounter. Its entire existence is a fabrication, a mirage that's been running a game on you since day one. It's the part of you that is absolutely convinced you are separate from the plug, separate from God, separate from everyone and everything else. And from that core lie, it builds an entire fake identity, a whole profile, complete with a highlight reel and a trauma dump. And it tries to sell you on the idea that this profile is the real you. This is the voice that's constantly fronting. It's putting on a show for the world and, more importantly, for you. When you feel you have to pretend to be someone you're not to be accepted, that's the ego fronting. When you're scrolling and you feel that pang of insecurity, and then you post something to make your life look more put together than it feels, that's the ego curating its cap. It's the part of you that gets offended, that holds grudges, that feels superior one minute and utterly worthless the next. It's the drama queen, the perpetual victim, the arrogant know-it-all. It's the one that tells you you're not ready, you're not good enough, you're not spiritual enough. It's a shapeshifter, and its only job is to protect its own illusory existence by keeping you completely identified with its endless, exhausting storyline. The wildest part is that we defend this cap. We defend it like it's our most prized possession. We think, well, that's just how I am. Or, they made me feel this way. We build entire fortresses around this false self, thinking we're protecting something real, when all we're doing is protecting a lie from being exposed to the truth. We're protecting a glitch from the clarity of the signal. The spiritual path isn't about polishing this ego, making it better person, more successful cap-wearer. That's just putting new rims on a broken-down car. The work is to see the cap as cap. It's to call its bluff. It's to stop buying what it's selling. You do this not by fighting it, not by wrestling with every individual thought, but by seeing the whole mechanism for what it is. You witness it. You notice the thought that says, you're a failure, and instead of believing it and spiraling out, you simply recognize, there is the cap artist doing its thing again. You see the feeling of insecurity arise, and you don't try to fix it or cover it up. You just acknowledge, this is a broadcast from the ego station. This witnessing, this simple, gentle awareness is what begins to dissolve the lie. You can't fight darkness with a sword, but you can flip on the light. Your pure awareness, your I am consciousness, is that light. The moment you shine the light of your true self on the ego's drama, it starts to lose its substance. It can't survive in the presence of conscious. It thrives in the shadows of unconscious belief. So the practice is to stop believing the cap. Stop reacting to its stories. Stop feeding it your attention. When you stop investing in the lie, like any bankrupt corporation, eventually just folds. When you stop investing in the lie, like any bankrupt corporation, eventually just folds. And what's left when that whole operation shuts down? What emerges when you stop fronting and finally get real with yourself? You step into your true role. You stop being a background character in your own story. reacting to every little thing the world throws at you, and you start operating with what can only be called God's main character energy. Now, don't get it twisted. This ain't about being arrogant or self-centered. That's the ego's cheap, bootleg version of this. The world's idea of a main character is someone who thinks the whole world revolves around them. But God's main character energy is the exact opposite. It's the profound, humbling realization that you revolve around God. You realize that the I Am within you is the one and only main character, the starring role of the divine itself, and your human scene is just the location where this presence is being expressed. Think of it like this. You're not the author of the book, frantically trying to write a good story and stressing over the plot twists. You are the vessel through which the author's story is being told. Your job isn't to control the narrative. Your job is to be such a clear, transparent, and willing instrument that the author's perfect plot can flow through you without your ego messing up the lines. When you have God's main character energy, you aren't trying to be important. You are recognizing that you are a importance because God's own life is what you are. You walk through your day not with arrogance, but with a quiet, unshakable authority. You don't have to force outcomes or manipulate people. You just have to show up, present and open, and let the main character, the Christ, the Buddha nature, the I Am, handle the script. This changes everything. When a challenge pops up, you don't panic like a part actor who just got handed a line they can't handle. You pause, you go within, and you listen for the main character's direction. You trust that the intelligence that wrote the universe can handle this traffic jam, this difficult conversation, this health scare. Your stress comes from believing you're the writer, the director, and the lead actor all at once. Your peace comes from realizing you're the supporting cast to the divine. Your only line is, "Thy will be done." Your only action is to follow the impulse of the spirit within. This is the ultimate plot armor. The bills are due. The main character has infinite supply. A relationship is falling apart. The main character is the source of all love and harmony. Your body is showing symptoms. The main character is the very substance of wholeness and life. You are not denying the problem. You are just acknowledging a higher authority than the problem. You are shifting your focus from the storm to the captain of the ship. And when you do that, you stop getting tossed around by every wave. You operate from a center of calm command, not because of your personal power, but because you are yielded to and consciously one with the ultimate power. You're not the star of the Joel show, you are the location where God is starring. This changes everything. When a challenge pops up, you don't panic like a part actor who just got handed a line they can't handle. You pause, you go within, and you listen for the main character's direction. You trust that the intelligence that wrote the universe can handle this traffic jam, this difficult conversation, this health scare. Your stress comes from believing you're the writer, the director, and the lead actor all at once. Your peace comes from realizing you're the supporting cast to the divine. Your only line is, "Thy will be done." Your only action is to follow the impulse of the spirit within. This is the ultimate plot armor. The bills are due. The main character has infinite supply. A relationship is falling apart. The main character is the source of all love and harmony. Your body is showing symptoms. The main character is the very substance of wholeness and life. You are not denying the problem. You are just acknowledging a higher authority than the problem. You are shifting your focus from the storm to the captain of the ship. And when you do that, you stop getting tossed around by every wave. You operate from a center of calm command, not because of your personal power, but because you are yielded to and consciously one with the ultimate power. You're not the star of the Joel show, you are the location where God is starring. And this brings us to the most practical, down-to-earth, real-world shift you will ever make living from the inside out. The entire world operates on the outside in principle. It's the default setting for the human experience. Something happens out there. You get a nasty email, your stocks go down. Someone says something rude, and you let that event dictate what happens in here, in your inner world. The outside world throws a rock, and your peace shatters. The outside world shows you a lack, and you feel poor and scared. You are basically a ping-pong ball, bouncing around based on whatever external circumstance is hitting you at the moment. Your inner state is held hostage by the weather, the news, and your bank account balance. This is the ultimate slavery. Living from the inside out is the declaration of your inner independence. It is the conscious decision to let the signal determine your reality, not the glitch. It means you stop being a thermometer, just reflecting the temperature of the room, and you become a thermostat, which sets the temperature of the room. The thermostat doesn't get anxious when the room gets cold. It just clicks on and brings the environment back into harmony with its own setting. That's your new job. Your I am consciousness is your setting. Peace is your setting. Wholeness is your setting. Love is your setting. So when the outside world gets chaotic and cold, you don't run around trying to fix the air. You turn within. You click on. You return to your setting. You abide in that I am presence, and you let that inner reality begin to recalibrate your outer world. This isn't magic, and it's not a quick fix for irresponsible living. It's a profound law. You are an emitter of consciousness, not just a receiver of stimuli. Your inner world is a generative field. When you live from the inside out, you are constantly emitting the frequency of your true self, the signal of peace, intelligence, and harmony. And the physical world, in its own time and in its own way, has no choice but to arrange itself around that vibration. You don't pray for a new job from a consciousness of unemployment. You pray from the already established inner consciousness of being the infinite activity and supply of God, and then you watch as that consciousness orchestrates the appearance of the right job. You don't beg for healing from a consciousness of sickness. You rest in the unshakable inner knowing of your inherent wholeness, and that consciousness becomes the healing presence that reorganizes the body. The outside in life is a life of reaction. The inside-out life is a life of creation. It's you finally understanding that the kingdom, the control panel, the source of all power and all change is truly and always has been within you. The outside in life is a life of reaction. The inside-out life is a life of creation. It's you finally understanding that the kingdom, the control panel, the source of all power and all change is truly and always has been within you. So what are we waiting for? We've sat through the whole seminar. We've taken the notes. We understand the glitch and the signal. We know the ego is all cap. We've felt the truth of being the plug and living from the inside out. But knowledge without application is just spiritual entertainment. It's time to stop treating this like a theory and start treating it like the ultimate cheat code that it is. Because that's what this is, a cheat code for the human experience. In a video game, a cheat code doesn't change the game. It unlocks a latent potential that was already hidden in the programming. It gives you infinite ammo, reveals the whole map, makes you invincible. It doesn't build a new game, it reveals the true nature of the game you were already playing. Your I am consciousness is that invincibility code. It's the infinite ammo of divine grace. It's the full reveal map of the kingdom of heaven within. You've been playing the game on the hardest difficulty, believing you were just a weak character with limited resources when the entire time you had the master code. You just forgot you'd entered it. Unlocking your divine self isn't about adding a single thing to who you are. It's about finally pressing start on the life that has already been fully loaded and unlocked for you. The peace isn't something you achieve. It's something you access. The love isn't something you have to earn. It's the default currency of your being. The wisdom isn't something you have to go to school for. It's the native operating system waiting for your command. The only thing standing between you and an invincible, abundant, and harmonious experience of life is the decision to believe the code is real and to use it. Right now, not tomorrow when things calm down. Not next week when you have more time to meditate. Now, in the middle of the traffic jam, in the tense meeting, in the quiet loneliness of your own living room, the cheat code is always active. It's the simple, silent, powerful return to the I am. It's closing your eyes for 1 second amidst the chaos and declaring, I am peace. It's feeling the lack and inwardly affirming, I am the infinite supply of God. It's facing the sickness and resting in the unshakable truth, I am the wholeness of the one life. This isn't positive thinking. This is command line programming. You are speaking the code back into the system, and the system has no choice but to obey. You are not begging God for help. You are announcing the truth of God that is your very being, and that announcement, made in faith, begins to reconfigure your entire visible world to conform to that divine fact. The circumstances might not shift in an instant, but you will. And when you shift from a creature of circumstance to the conscious creator of your experience, the circumstances lose all power to define you. They have to, eventually, catch up to the new vibration you're emitting. So the question is no longer, how do I unlock this? You already are unlocked. The real question is, how long are you going to keep playing the game on hard mode when you have the code for God mode written on your very heart?